Hey, hey, hey! I hope you're having a marvelous Monday. It's your favorite remote work enthusiast, Delilah. And you guys, today is a very good day. Not just because we woke up to see it, okay? That's a major part. The other reason is because I have three hot non-phone based roles to share with y'all. If you are into typing and you're like, Delilah, I'm tired of talking back to back to customers. I want to do something more clerical. All these documents, I like typing. Okay, I don't really want to talk too much. Well, this is for you. So I'm going to get into the details. These are going to fly, so I don't want to delay. But first things first, make sure you hit that subscribe button and you tap that notification bell and select all. That way YouTube tells you every time I post a video, and I post the hottest work from home opportunities and information right here, Monday through Friday. So now that you have taken care of that business, we are ready to jump in. All right, you guys. So jumping on in here, today's first lead comes from a new to this channel company called Henry Sheen. And this is a company within the healthcare industry. They say that they offer solutions for healthcare professionals. You can buy supplies, and you can do that for if you're a dental professional or a medical professional. They've been around for a very long time. They have a lot of information for you to peruse. You can see they're approaching like 100 years. I can go to their Glassdoor, 10,000 plus employees. They say about 25,000 folks work for them worldwide. And this is just absolutely what we want to, have on our resume. We want to work for a good company like this. Great rating. So jumping on into this hot lead, this is for their verifications representative position. This is available US wide. They just posted this on Friday. It is a full-time position, and they tell us a range for the pay. Down here, they give us this range between 33,000 something per year all the way to 52,000 something per year. I went on to Glassdoor, and they had 4 salaries submitted where people say they're making about $42,000 per year, which makes sense to me. Based off all these leads that I've seen, $42,000 per year on average sounds about right. Now, they do say they can go up to this. So, if you feel like you got the skills to pay the bills, ask for it. But on average, we would be coming in at about $21 per hour, which is at $42,000 per year. And hey, that's not bad at all, especially because they don't want you to show up with a lot of stuff, okay? You gotta have good time management skills and be able to prioritize work, paying attention to detail and accuracy because you're dealing with a lot of documents, customer service oriented, good interpersonal communication skills, maintain confidentiality for highly sensitive information, work in a team environment, and multitask. And it says typically 1 or more years of related experience. So if you've ever done anything within coordination, administration, data entry, anything handling documents, anything where you have to do a lot of typing, that would fall into that bucket, related experience. So that's most folks. Now, this is a non-phone based role. However, if you ever have to get more information, they let us know that you should be okay with contacting customers via email and phone to get that additional information. Well, what is the additional information? Well, it probably would help if I tell you what you're doing, okay? So in this position, you're going to be responsible for verifying applicable, proper federal and state licensing documentation for customers ordering prescription products. So you're going to have to research and maintain customer license information using electronic databases. You'll be responsible for reviewing and activating new customer accounts and for reviewing potentially fraudulent orders and communicating with external departments as contacts needed. Contacts customers for additional information as needed. Interacts with sales team and other internal divisions regarding customer orders for prescription products. And so you're going to be doing this from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you're in a different time zone, just adjust that. So that's where the potential to contact customers comes in. Because you're going to be handling the federal and state licensing for prescription products, if there's any customer information that's missing, you can reach out via email or sometimes it might just be easier to pick up that phone. But the key thing to understand here is your job isn't to take back-to-back customer calls, like as if you were working in a call center environment. And that's the thing that I know a lot of y'all are trying to get away from. You're sick of the headset. You're sick of, once you get off the phone with one customer, you got to pick up the phone for another customer. This is not that. So maybe you might have to pick up a phone, let's say 5 times a day. That's way different than taking 5 calls within the last 30 minutes, okay? So this is a good one. And I like how they break down, the percentage of responsibility, and you can see it's all clerical work. So if you are someone who wants to, handle documents, you want to do some clerical administrative work, this would be a great position to transition into. And so, yeah, you're not completely away from the phone, but in reality, you got to communicate in every job. So that phone's always going to be right there in the corner. So if you want to get your application in, which I know you do, you get great benefits, you can hit that apply button at the top. And you already know we have you covered with the remote resume builder software. And we have tons of templates for y'all to choose from. If you want to do this role, I would go with the administrative coordinator resume template and I would customize from there. It's already filled out. All of these templates are filled out. You just want to go in and add your razzle dazzle. So you choose the template. It'll look something like this, okay? And then you just go into the builder, you make it your own, and then boom, you are ready to download and get your application in. And you're starting from a finished product. So it's not like starting from scratch with a blank screen, which is intimidating because how do I fill it up? Well, we give you lots of ideas that are related to each template's title. So if you're using the administrative coordinator template, there's gonna be a lot of stuff that you'll wanna keep. And then you might say, I'll switch out this thing and add another thing. So that's how you use the templates, y'all. And that's the power of the software. It makes customization super easy. And speaking of customization, I just gotta let y'all know, okay? We met this last Saturday, 8 a.m. And when I tell you that the workshop was everything I could have ever hoped for and more, I mean it. Y'all who were at the workshop, you guys asked the best questions. Like, y'all were really on it at 8 a.m. And there were so many light bulb moments. There were so many folks in the chat saying like, wow, Delilah, this is great. I already know what I need to do differently. And we weren't even a few minutes into the workshop, all right? That's how amazing the workshop was. So here's the deal. If you weren't there and you said, Delilah, I want to learn how to customize and I want to know what y'all were talking about on Saturday, the replay is available for purchase until this evening, and then it is going into the vault. And the next time that you can get this good information that we discussed about customization on this previous Saturday will be the next time that I do this live. And I have no clue when I'm going to do this particular workshop live. We're in the midst of the spring workshop series, and I got to keep it pushing. So if you are someone who wants to learn how to customize in a jiffy, you can purchase this replay and get instant access to it. And the link to purchase the replay is in the description box below. And remember, after the timer runs out, it is going into the vault to live with all of its workshop replay friends. And the next time that this information will be available is when I run it live. And that's going to be months from now, okay, at earliest. So get the replay and get your application in for this lead. And now let's move on to hot lead number 2. So hot lead number 2 comes from a company called Conduent. We know all about Conduent. We've seen Conduent around. I've shared Conduent a million times. This is a huge company, 10,000 plus employees, and they are a business process outsourcing company, which is just a fancy word for they do hiring and operations on behalf of other companies. So companies will outsource their customer service, their tech support, their sales roles, and they'll be managed by Conduent. And so that's how they always have really awesome opportunities in just about every kind of, niche you can think of. And so they are currently hiring for their data entry associate position. And this position is going to pay $15 per hour, and it's available in the following locations. So as long as you live in one of these states, you are good to apply. They're not hiring in the states that they list under that. So just keep that in mind. It's available in a lot of states, but not all. You just want to verify. And so what you're doing in this data entry role is you are going to be responsible for processing all incoming healthcare claim forms sent by their client. You're going to digitize the form, and additional responsibilities will be to focus on inputting all details of the claim with high accuracy while meeting the expected keystrokes per hour or words per minute established by the company. So you're going to be doing a lot of typing, y'all. Okay, a lot. And if you're into data entry, just go into any data entry typing based role knowing that those fingers are going to be moving. Okay, it's not a walk in the park. Data entry requires you to be, keying and, meeting those metrics. So this role, as long as you can type 30 plus words per minute, you're 10 key proficient, you're able to use the computer, Microsoft Office, internet searches, you are able to meet deadlines, and you have the correct internet speed, then you are good to go. 18 plus years or older. If you have experience in claims, that's nice. You don't have to have it. High school diploma, and that's it. And that's another thing about Conduent's leads. A lot of their leads fall into that no experience, never really worked, or barely worked bucket. So this is great if you're just trying to get your foot into data entry. I would apply ASAP. And the apply now button is right here. And yes, we have the perfect template. I would just go with the data entry template and call it a day, okay? And remember, anytime we have a resume template, we have a cover letter template to go with it. So I would use that data entry resume template. It's pretty much ready to go. You just want to add, a little razzle dazzle. You won't have to do much customizing. And then I would pair it with the data entry cover letter, and you will be on your merry way. So try out the software, use those templates. You can try them out for just $1. And as soon as you sign up, we're going to send you your login to your own private dashboard that looks like this. We're going to send you a login to my Teachable School so you can watch the brief tutorials on how to use the software. It only takes a few minutes to watch because this is an easy peasy software. And then we're also going to send you a link to the support desk to get in contact with us. We are in our Fresh Desk support desk 7 days a week. There is a rep in there every single day, making sure that any questions y'all email us about, like how to use the software or questions about something, we answer them. So we take care of every last one of our customers, and that's why everybody's satisfied. So let's move on to the third and final hot lead. This one's kind of like a bonus, but I still wanted to share it. So jumping on into the final hot lead, this comes from a company called ServiceLink. And this is a new to this channel company. And so I was perusing their homepage. I was also over on their Glassdoor, and they've been around for a very long time. I'm just running into them, which is awesome. They are in banking and lending, and specifically they offer mortgage and financial solutions, which is awesome. So jumping into this hot lead, they are hiring for a default title examiner position. And this role is another non-phone based role. It doesn't have a ton of requirements, but one of the requirements that they mention that makes me want to add this as a bonus, because maybe everyone doesn't have experience in this, is they mention that they want you to have title examination experience or search experience. So like you'd be doing title searches, that kind of thing. So if you've ever worked in the mortgage industry, maybe you've ever worked in like a bank and you had to sort of deal a little bit with like the mortgage loans, I think since that's very closely related, I would get my application in. And I know a lot of y'all have worked at a bank, so you've probably handled a lot of different financial products, including things dealing with mortgages. And so maybe you might qualify. And at worst, I would just apply, if I feel like, hey, I've got some overlap there, and they could say no, and that's okay. That's fine, But this is a really good position. It's going to pay somewhere between $22 and $27 per hour. The hours are Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5 p.m. So what you're going to do in this role is you'll process and review search packages from vendors and internal searchers for accuracy, collect real estate tax data from county websites, enter information from real estate documents into ServiceLink's title production system to compose pre-foreclosure reports, and meet company expectation metrics and maintain 97% accuracy rate. So this is a good old data entry, like search type job. You're researching and you're doing data entry, which, we love. But remember, they want you to, have some experience in this role. So again, the most I would kind of stretch it is if I've worked in a, banking type position and kind of had to handle multiple products. Maybe you've worked in finance before. Maybe you've worked directly within like mortgage lending and have done this exact thing. So if this is for you and you like it, the apply button is at the top right. And the template that I would go for is I would again customize the administrative coordinator template. And I would just make sure that I mention, the data entry, which is already there. I'd make sure I mention specifically having experience with like the mortgage industry, or if you've done this exact type role, I would make sure I say that. And that's how you can further customize it. And by the way, if you're like Delilah, I think I kind of understand customization, but I'm not sure, that workshop is going to clarify it. So we already did the workshop. The replay is available for purchase, and you can watch this as soon as you purchase the replay. And remember, it's going into the vault at the end of tonight, okay? So try out the software. Make sure you, get your application in for these hot leads. And then next up on the resources list is Extra Leads Club. Y'all, all of these leads came from Extra Leads Club. We have so many hot leads in Extra Leads Club that there's plenty more where this came from. If you're like, I love these leads on your channel, then you're gonna love, love, love the leads in Extra Leads Club. And it's gonna take a lot off of your plate. If you know that you're gonna have leads you can apply to that are waiting for you in the Extra Leads Club app, you're gonna be more consistent. Having to find these jobs and apply to them, do all the customization stuff, it's a lot. It gets exhausting. So wherever you can lighten your load, and it's only $10 a month, okay? A month, $10 a month. You can't even get a meal from Chick-fil-A for 10 buckaroos, okay? If you want the large drink, I think it'll be a little bit more than 10. So anyway, join Extra Leads Club. You would be so glad that you did. And you can try it out for just $1 during our 7-day trial to see if you love it. Okay, so we make it so easy for you to get your application in. Go ahead and join. Next up on the resources list is the mega list of jobs. You guys, every time we find a company, we add it right here so that you can find these companies and go to their careers pages and see the latest and greatest they have to offer. So we're going to be adding a couple more to this list because there were 2 new to this channel companies shared in this video. And that way you can find more leads to apply to. So the mega list of jobs is a free resource. If you're looking for something in particular, maybe, you want to do more administrative work, you like these non-phone jobs, you can search for that and you can go and apply to more leads. So bookmark this page, come here every time you look for a job. You'll be glad that you did. And then last but certainly not least, check out my Amazon storefront for all of your work from home equipment needs. We all need a computer, and Amazon has packages under $200, under $150. Like this one is $125 for the whole hookup. So come to Amazon, get your work from home equipment. You'll be glad that you did. Check out the mega list of jobs, bookmark this page, come here every time you look for a job, join Extra Leads Club for just $1, get your application in for this hot lead using the remote resume builder software for just $1, and purchase the replay for the customization workshop. You guys, it was a time was had, and I'm so excited, and I'm already working on the next workshop that we'll be doing. So get this replay, and thank you guys so much for watching. I truly hope this has been helpful, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.